Hello and welcome back to Tommy's Top Picks Weekly Roundup Podcast, Episode 7. I'm your host, Tommy. I'm here with my co-host, John.
How's it going?
Good. So, how was your week? We're getting close to the 100 subscriber giveaway.
Yeah, it was a good week. Lots of boxes of Everfest opened, and just to go over the giveaway and how that will work. Basically, throughout all of our videos, we call out hashtags, and if you put the hashtag in the comment, that gains you an entry, a single ticket, as it were, to the giveaway. And we're going to give away a box of MetaZoo and a box of Everfest. And the way it will work is once we hit 100 subscribers, we'll go back through all the videos with all the hashtags and take every comment that has a hashtag that is accurate. And I will warn you, some of our longtime listeners have salted the comments with fake hashtags. So don't be fooled and think you can cheat. You got to listen. But if you listen, you're subscribed, and you hashtag a correct hashtag, that will gain you one ticket to the spin of the wheel. We'll use one of those online giveaway wheels, and essentially for each of the tickets, or each of the entries, it will weight. So if you've done 3 hashtags that were correct, you will have 3 essential entries on the wheel, which means you're 3 times as likely as someone who has only done 1 hashtag. And we'll do it for both an Everfest box and a MetaZoo box at separate times. They will be opened on the air. Tommy will open the MetaZoo box. I will open the Flesh and Blood, the Everfest box, and the contents will be sent to you.
Yep. And on this video, we can do 2 hashtags. We can do one for hashtag Everfest and one for hashtag CN. We'll just do hashtag CN2. And so you can have one entry to both for this podcast.
Yep, that works.
So any spicy pulls this week?
I did.
With all your Everfest opening?
Yeah. So I opened, I think, a case and a half this week, maybe a case in a box. I can't remember. And the first time ever out of all of the boxes I've opened, which is not that many, I'll be honest, I got my first legendary, my first Everfest legendary.
Yeah, there you go.
I was super excited. I want, I collect this stuff, so I've
Which
been
one was it?
holding off on buying them because I knew the chances were good that I'd get one eventually.
Right.
I got the merchant gloves.
Silver palms.
Yeah, totally pleased with that. It looks good. I like the way it looks, and I may or may not ever use it, but it's definitely good for the collection. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty card. I pulled one too.
Yeah, they're nice. They're nice. So that was the best thing I pulled this week for sure.
I pulled the Fable.
Yeah, shut up.
Which was super exciting.
Everyone hates you.
My other big pull was the extended art rainbow foil Pulverize, which is
nice.
So cool. And to be playing a lot of Guardian right now, it's a nice piece to have. Thankfully, I also pulled a playset.
So I was going to say, you're not playing with that art.
No. I have that one in a case. Yeah, but I have a playset of 2 rainbow foil and normal.
Nice.
And then yesterday, I opened my first Pokemon Brilliant Stars and opened the Trainer Gallery Flareon, which looks super cool. I think there's going to be a lot of people chasing these cards in the set.
Is that the new set? Did that just come out?
Pre-release came out. It's like, you know how those Magic pre-release kits where you get like a promo that says like 2021 or whatever,
right?
And a couple packs and like a starter deck. It's exactly that, but Pokemon.
So did you get it at your store?
Yeah, I stopped by the local store yesterday because it came out yesterday.
So is that normal? Because
yes,
for Magic, if I went to my store, I could sign up for the pre-release event and then get the pre-release thing, but you don't just buy them and walk out necessarily.
You do for this because it's Pokemon is doing a play at home because they are not currently holding
that's
in-person play.
Okay,
gotcha. It's all around this whole play at home kind of mantra. So it is something you can just, and they're kits, so you get the box and 3 packs for, I think it's $30. So it's a little bit of a deal because the boxes normally go for 20, but 20 to 25.
Gotcha. But. Cool. Interesting. Well, I'll keep an eye on those prices and probably pick a box of Brilliant Stars up as the price dips down.
Yeah, the again, this is the set that I was saying the dip down will probably be in April because
Yeah,
that's when
yeah.
the
No, I
second
know
wave
it
will
takes
come
a.
out.
Yeah, yeah. It'll take a bit.
But yeah,
That's
I just
standard.
wanted to open up some, and
Speaking of
it's
dips,
cool.
oh my god, I want Kamigawa, and I'm really afraid it's not going to dip. There's so much demand for it. If SCG Con is any indication, they said every seat was filled for the Magic side of the
Wow.
event. Yeah, every seat. That is nuts. I am so afraid I'm not going to be able to get a discounted booster, a collector booster, because I really, yeah, I'm worried. Should have bought the Rudy kit. I didn't even think I'd need to.
Yeah, I think I'm skipping that one.
Well, it's too late now.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
they sold out in like half an hour, the collector kit, but I didn't want to buy three. Now I was talking to our patron, and he was like, "Oh, you're gonna open any live?" And I'm like, "Shoot, maybe I should have bought three and then open, or
Yeah,
sold
right,
one to a
right.
patron or something." And I didn't even think about that, but that's not a bad use of time because collector boxes are really fancy art. It'd
Oh
be
yeah,
fun
for
to
sure.
actually open that on
Yeah,
camera. So now I gotta buy two boxes. Hopefully, there's a discount. We'll see. We'll
you'll
see.
find
But
one.
I'm
You'll find one.
excited for this set. Yeah, I'm sure I will.
Give it a week or two. I think the prices will go down.
Yeah, hopefully. Anyways, moving on.
I got to play some fun games this week.
Yeah, what'd you do?
Well, we went to the Blitz event at the game store.
Yeah, that was fun.
And I took Valda. It was a lot of fun. Went 1-2.
Yeah, I was gonna
But
say, what was your in score there? I
yeah,
actually
so I
did.
won the mirror in the Bravo against the Bravo. Not mirror, but Guardian. And
Gotcha.
then lost to Bolton and lost to Viserai. But that was the first time playing against both Bolton and Viserai. Like, just because our play group hasn't really played them, I just haven't gone up against them, so I didn't really know how to play into it.
Mm.
But I also am new to the Valda deck, and I think there definitely needs to be some changes because there are, or I don't know if it was just the matchups I was going against. Essentially, think of Valda as like a volleyball player where you're throwing up for a big set, like to spike it,
Yep.
but it the ball can be taken away from you midair.
Yep.
And when that
Yep.
ball is taken away from you,
You cry.
it hurts. It does.
It hurts a lot.
Because then you're just like, oh, I wasted an entire turn.
and now my arsenal's jammed up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now there is cards like I think I want to add some break grounds in there for that situation.
Why
Because
not
it
just use the Crown of Seed power? I
because it
mean,
has to be face down.
oh, gross.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, that's worse.
So that's why break ground works.
Yeah. Interesting.
If that
Well,
worked,
seemed
then
fun for
that would be
one
awesome.
game. Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be awesome. It'd be like easy. I'll
Yeah.
deal with that. That's
Yeah.
not a problem.
I'll just
Yeah,
prevent a
that's-
damage and get it out of the way.
Yeah. Nope.
But yeah, so the Blitz event was fun though. And then we played some games. Testing out Starvo
Yep.
and his full elemental build. It's very different. It plays very differently. Like I was testing out Tark's build that he has up on Channel Fireball, and it's very different than any other Guardian I've played, but it is still a very fun gameplay because you do get a couple seismic surge tokens in a couple ways, but predominantly you're looking to get that hero ability +2 dominate go again every turn. And I was getting it more turns than I wasn't.
Yep. That's the way. It's aggro Bravo.
Yeah, and there are ways to like take turns off where, say you have two, I would have like a lightning, two ice, two lightning and two ice. I would block with a card, or if I was attacking, pitch an ice for the swing and then just take the rest of the turn off and then hope I draw it up for the next turn because it is that impactful. You can almost take half a turn off or have an underwhelming turn to have a higher chance of hitting it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do really like the way it plays. I don't know if it at the end of the day is better than playing the key Guardian cards and then having the hero ability go off less often.
Right.
But it'd almost be more impactful because of all the crush cards that you're bringing in with that.
So you're saying you remove the crush cards to fit the elementals?
No, you remove elemental cards to add crush cards.
No, I'm saying the current build you're using
has like none of it.
None of it. Okay,
Yeah.
that I wasn't sure.
Yeah, the build I'm using now is essentially to almost guarantee it every turn. But to swing a couple,
that seems like that will ultimately be underwhelming because you got to get some of those other impacts in there for it to be really powerful.
But there are still the impact cards like the hand disruption where it makes your opponent pitch, or there's a lot of the ice cards that have impacts. Right. Like because when you're pitching an ice to swing with your hammer, you're threatening a frostbite token.
Now, do you think maybe it's a learning curve thing, and that you need to learn how to play the other like elements to full impact as well, maybe, or is it something you can learn into, or is it something the deck needs to be modified?
I think it's what I'm questioning is the direction of the build, because there are two distinct different ideas being thrown around. One being fully supporting the elemental, while the other being using the elemental, but still predominantly a traditional Guardian crush deck.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's all trap. Starvo's a lie.
I don't know. There's something there. I think he's top tier? No. Like when I played against Viserai, I was like, that's nasty. Some of these new Viserai cards or new Runeblade cards are just a lot.
Flesh and Runeblade, baby.
For real.
Yeah, I hear Viserai.
And so like you have this set that like the Guardian gets the Fable, they get a legendary, they get awesome mythics. Like what else does it take to make Guardian get good? Like they gave it everything it could want. But it's just the different play styles, like playing it into Runeblade. That's why I think the Elemental will do better, because it forces multiple, instead of just one thing happening to you, it's multiple things.
Yeah.
Because it's finally a way for Guardian to have consistent go again.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that's what I was thinking. That's why I asked what I asked, because maybe it's just a matter of getting reps in and learning to maximize the use of your blink card, maximize the use of,
for sure,
this, that, and the other, because you're more comfortable with ice cards because, Oldhim and Guardian Ice is a comfortable pattern. The Lightning's got to be the most odd, awkward, unnatural thing, right? But there's power there. There's real power there. So if you can maximize your usage, optimize the deck around it. I don't know, because I don't know the deck very well, but maybe there's something there that's aggressive enough to throw a Viserai off balance or something of that nature.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think if you get them on the back foot, but it's all about keeping them there.
Yep.
And not having an explosive rune chant turn.
Rune chants. I got yelled at today for using a rune chant. Yeah, speaking of games I played, so at the Blitz event, I ran a horrible, quote-unquote, competitive red-blue Prism, so using the new auras and stuff. It was terrible. I know Prism well enough to know Prism, but this list was it just tried to do all the new good stuff, and it was not very consistent. It just didn't work out. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm an idiot and couldn't figure out how to play it. I doubt that, just because I know Prism well enough. Like I would see that as being, if I came into the class blind, it'd be one thing. But I lost every round, and not even a little bit, like by a lot. So it just doesn't synergize with Prism. Like it's like the beginning of whatever the next Illusionist deck is. That's what it is.
Okay. With like a different hero power.
Yeah. If you had a hero power that was tied to blue pitch,
what would you want? What would you want the hero power to be for this list?
It's so tough. I don't know. Because you're gonna need more cards, right? Because you gotta get rid of all the light illusionist cards. So that's a small pool if you get rid of the light illusionist cards.
Right.
So they'd have to give us, another 20 cards, 15 cards, whatever. What Guardian get this time? 21? So something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then another power and potentially another weapon. So like a Luminaris, but for blue for 3 pitch, which Iris does it, but it's not very good. And considering it's a token, it's an underpowered weapon.
Right.
But I don't know. It was interesting. It was good to see how the boosts, Veiled Intentions, Phantasmify played into other illusion attacks, and like Spears of Seriality and one of the new ones. But you got some big turns, but they were nothing like running a light illusionist and having Herald. Oh yeah, aura.
Right. Right.
Like it's nowhere close to that level. I'm actually curious how Prism performs in these upcoming rounds because she seems like a powerhouse. She's definitely like the thing to beat. So there's going to be a lot of people trying to beat her. But I don't know if we have a shutdown situation like the ball lightning. Maybe what?
Oh, I was going to say maybe she does struggle just because she was word on the street the deck to beat. And so everyone.
This one is nothing like her. Yeah. No. This is just a horrible list. It was just a bad list.
No, I just mean currently.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens at SCG Con, who wins, and what the list looks like. What else we play? I got to play some CC. Pulled out my Briar deck. I think this is where I'm going to go with ProQuest, or go to ProQuest with. Got to play against Azalea. That was nice.
Yeah, that was nasty. I played a Blitz version of versus Azalea.
Yeah, it's a good deck. It's a good deck. I still feel like Azalea's playing with one arm tied behind her back.
Yeah. As always.
It's sad. I don't know if it's like the card pool or just the fact that you have to arsenal everything and that like automatically takes one enhancement away,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It takes consistency away.
Yeah. It's rough. Anything else?
I think that's all I played. Pretty sure.
Same for me.
But the main topic of the week was going to be just Everfest in general. Now that we've gotten it, opened it, how do we feel about it?
Yeah. Go
ahead.
What are your first impressions and last impressions, I guess?
Sure. So first impressions are the new packaging and the paper wrapping I want to talk about because they are so nice to open. And one, they're recyclable now, which feels a lot better, taking out recycling instead of trash. And I feel like they open much easier. It's a much more enjoyable opening experience.
I agree. I like the tactile feel of it. I like the tear that, as you're tearing it open. It's so nice. And easy to open, fun to open, feels nice. The only thing I don't like is that they're slick and they always slip and slide on each other when I'm pulling them out of the box.
Yeah.
But they could keep that and I wouldn't ever be upset about it. I've gotten used to it now. So the first time when I spilled them across my desk, I was like, well, that's unfortunate. but since then, I haven't really had too many problems with it. I'm usually able to maintain the balance of it now that I know that they're slick like that.
Right. Yeah, the one case I opened had dings on all of the non-rainbow foil mythics, which was kind of a bummer.
And that is a consistent story. I've seen that on many videos now. When you first had it, I had not heard of it yet.
Yeah.
But now I've seen many videos with that. And I even had one box that had a similar ding situation on the upper left, same area. So it's unfortunate.
And then, what else? I also really like the extended arts. It feels like you get a couple more hits in a box.
For sure.
Because I know you're really excited about them, but I cannot get excited about the cold foil items. I just can't.
That's fine. I think they're made for me, not you.
Yeah.
They're collector pieces, right? Who needs cold foil items? Like no one.
I do want a cold foil potion of luck, but
see, this is what I'm saying though. Everyone's like, I don't want them, but then they're like, well, but except the one I want.
Yeah.
And it's like, so it is a collectible thing for people, and it's going to be rare enough to find it that it's.
Oh yeah, totally.
I don't know. I think they did a good job with it. I like it. I think it adds a little value. It does not feel bad when those pop in my.
No, they don't feel bad. It's just
Some people were saying they feel bad. They're like, I don't care about these. I hate these. And it's like, what is wrong with
Hate is
you?
a strong word.
It's still like
hate
a
them.
$3 to $15 card. How
Yeah.
do you hate that? Like, that's ridiculous in my mind. But I get it. It's not for everyone, and I do feel like they're setting up for something in the future. I mean,
Sure.
okay, if the glove isn't an indication that there's something else coming, then I don't know what is.
The glove's
right?
another
Now,
thing I'm not happy about. But
what? Tell me why.
I think it should be a mythic, and I think there should be another playable legendary.
Oh, I don't know about that. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, okay, I get that from
It's a feel bad, like
in a
from a
bubble.
player. Yeah, from a player's perspective, it feels bad when you buy a case, you're all excited, you open the case, and the one
And that's your
legendary is a non-playable. Like even
It's
if you play,
It's
if you,
playable.
but how many people play Merchant?
It's like if okay, so here's the thing to remember. This is a supplemental set.
Right.
What was Crew? Crew was a blitz set.
Yeah.
This is a blitz set.
Right.
It's for goofy, fun, non-serious play, right? And
Yeah,
so
no, I get
Silver
that.
Palms is great for ultimate pit fight. No one wants to kill you because you give them card draw.
Oh,
I've heard so many stories about people playing it in Ultimate Pit Fight and it being a freaking riot because no one wants to hurt the merchant, and the merchant ends up winning because no one wants to hurt the merchant.
I never thought about it that way, but that's interesting.
Yeah. I think, and again, that's what in my mind that's the target of these sets. Now, I get it from a CC standpoint, like global competitions, Pro Tour, all that stuff. Yeah, it's a feels bad. I agree. It's a collector item and it's a goofy item, and that's why I think it's okay for that purpose. But you're right, it is not like it's a feels bad if you're trying to get sets for competition or something like that. But there's a lot of stuff in here that's not really focused on competition. I actually think that's what makes it so fun to open. I mean, you have the extended arts, you have the cold foils. Even the potion cold foils seem pretty good to get in my mind. You have all of the different like versions of them, right? Like the Earthward Bounty in full art.
Right? That one's really cool.
Yeah, and the Bravo in full art. Like, come on, that's such a chase.
Yeah.
And then 3 of the extended arts are still going for like $100, right?
Right.
So I mean, there's real.
No, I'm not saying there's not. I'm not saying the value's not there. I'm not saying the chase isn't there. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I think they nailed the formula this time. Yeah, it might feel bad to not get the legendary you want.
The other thing I noticed was it felt like I got one of each mythic.
Yes.
So
that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Is that they actually did not get those. So they got it separated enough so you don't get dupes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I get for the short printing short printing the equipment that way, but the actual card mythics.
No, they're not short printed. There's just so many of them that they managed to actually collate correctly, so that you didn't get like.
No, they purposely short print the equipment.
Yeah. But I'm talking about the regular mythic cards.
Yeah.
You don't get dupes of those very often either, because of the way they collate. I think they did that right. Now, granted, it depends on what your opinion is and what you're trying to do. I think they did it right in that it's going to get more boxes sold and opened, right? Because you're not going to get your full play set.
Right.
And it's going to create more of a market in the secondary because you'll get 1 of or 2 of, but you won't have a full set, and you want to get rid of it to get the full set of the thing you do want,
Right.
Which creates a secondary market that's healthy in my mind.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But from a player standpoint, I'm sure you want to open 1 box and get everything you need.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, that's silly. Because when that happens, guess what happens? The whole market dries up, dies, and then stores don't carry the boxes.
Fair, I guess.
Because it has happened before. It has happened in Magic. Like, you don't want your cards to be worth $0. I know you don't want them to be expensive, so you can't afford to play. But when the cards become like literally worth nothing, then they're viewed as garbage, literally. And
right. No, I get that.
You will not. Yeah, your game will fail. So this is the one thing that, like, my big realization. I know it's not like brilliant or anything, but it really struck me as I was opening these. Mm-hmm. These cards reaching back into the older sets and reinvigorating the value of some of the older sets.
Yeah, I do find that really interesting.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm never getting rid of a first edition card again. You know how I gave away all that Tales of
Yeah.
Aria stuff?
Yep.
I'm never doing that again, ever, ever, because there's no guarantee that the next set's not going to make those cards worth $5 a piece or whatever, right?
Yeah.
For some
Yeah.
certain combo
Yeah.
or
Just commons.
yeah, just
Yeah.
commons because they're now super useful when before they were like, oh, this is useless, right? I
Right.
mean, just think about how many cards Starvo will use that none of the elemental, characters used before because
Right.
it didn't make sense, and it makes total sense with Starvo, right? So I think that's huge.
Yeah.
I think it got me more excited about the long term impact of collecting this than I think I
Oh
was
yeah.
before.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing of the cards don't rotate. There's no rotation.
It's pretty epic. I never really fully grasped the implications until we saw it happen here.
Yeah, because they're as more and more sets come out, more and more players join. People pick up the cheap commons. The more they disappear, the more they go up.
I wonder if this will create an artificial, not reserve list per se, because reserve list means it'll never be printed again. So then the speculative bubble goes into it and it gets crazy. But like a high demand old card kind of area, right? They can reprint it, sure, but
Right, like what if they don't
clearly,
reprint? What if they don't reprint Pummel for 5 years?
exactly. What, like 5 years?
Mhm.
Just 5 years. That card is going to be worth a fortune. And they're clearly not doing like massive reprint sets, right?
Right.
Like we're getting one card a set. They're not. I mean, so far they haven't been like, here, we're going to reprint 7 things, right?
Right.
It's one card a set. Maybe see it going to 5 cards a set in total, right? Okay, if that's the case, then that means some of these cards that end up having later combinations, they're going to be worth a lot for a while.
I wonder if they'll ever do like a list slot, like Magic.
Something that draws back. Yeah, that would be a good idea, actually, because that would definitely give
especially
you
just for like commons and
carnival
stuff.
slot feel. Yeah. That's actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea at all. Get your pummels in there, your sink belows and whatnot. The sink below is like $2.
Yeah.
And it's a common.
Yeah.
But it's so useful. Like everyone needs it.
And everyone needs multiples.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone needs at least a playset. I have like 3 playsets and I still find myself like, should I buy another? Because I use it so often. Yeah, I don't know. I think this product feels the best to me as far as opening and like when you open a box in all the other sets, and I've opened a ton of boxes in all the sets.
Right.
So many boxes were just dead, dud boxes. I mean, how many market updates did I get to the end and be like, okay, well, that was worth half the value of the box?
Yeah.
And how, like, I would say 3 out of 4 on average, right? The one box with the legendary was the one that was a big hit. The others there was at least one mega dud that was just like a real bad. And then the other 2 were probably like break even or close to it, either above or below, right? That was the typical experience opening boxes before. I don't feel that's the case with this set. It feels like you get enough hits in this that it feels good regardless, because you get your extended art, right? You get your potion cold foil or whatever. If you don't care about it, fine. You get some equipment usually, right? And it's all majestic, so it's usually good equipment. You end up getting 8 or 9 majestics and 1 foil majestic typically, right? So that feels pretty good when you hit that. I don't know. This is the best feeling. Like, I don't feel bad about opening a single box of it. I felt bad about opening single boxes of the other sets.
Yeah.
Because I knew the chances were it was going to be a waste of money to open it. It's like just throwing money out the door.
Right. Yeah, once you have your playsets. I mean, until you have your playsets, I think it's fun and fine to open, especially if you're doing drafts and stuff. But once you have your playsets, it's kind of just,
Yeah, it's lost money. What else?
But yeah, I feel like there's enough hits in there to make it, like you said, worth opening.
Yeah, and so here's the thing. As a collector, maybe this set was meant for collectors, and that's why I like it so much versus a lot of other people who have been kind of so-so on it. I find that I want to get a rainbow foil of all the generic carnival cards, I find I want to get the full play sets of the full arts, right? And they're not super expensive, but they're not cheap, Like the Thunderquake full art, which is not hard to come by, is $8, right? The
Right.
Rune Blood is $9. Like, and those are just the rares, right?
Right.
They're not the majestic ones. So I like the idea of collecting those. I like the idea of collecting cold foil potions. I like the idea of collecting the was it rainbow foil of the carnival slot cards? You know what I'm talking about? Like the
Yeah.
3 of a kind and that stuff, because they look so good. Like
Right.
Cash Out, all that. The ones they just did a really
Smashing Good
excellent
Time.
job. Yeah, Smashing Good Time in foil looks fantastic. It looks so good. So there's like a lot of little pieces that are like, ooh, I kind of want to get a set of those, you know.
Yeah.
And so it really for me, it's a lot of fun to open, because pretty much always something in there that I'm like, oh, I don't have that, I want that. That's fine. So Majestics, I have all of them now.
Yeah, I'm just missing a couple here and there.
I bought a full play set of everything.
That's fair.
I was like, I don't want to. They were pretty cheap, and the prices have come down on a few of them, but not by much. So actually, no, prices are going up on almost all of them now. Okay, so let's dig into this.
Sure.
Card prices,
Yeah.
general market. What are your thoughts on that?
You tell me. I have no idea. I haven't looked.
All right, so your Grandeur of Valahai got to a low of like, call it $390. I saw one sell for $355 on Facebook, right? So real low. But the lows I've seen on TCG players like $390, and it was only there for one day. It was one card that sold at that level, I believe, and now it's over $400. And apparently, people are buying them every day in large numbers. 14 or something sold in the last 2 days.
Wow,
which is nuts, right? It's a collector card, but that's a lot. That feels like a buyout.
Yeah.
Same with the Shield. The Shield, it was hanging at 130 for a while. Then we got that influx of everyone got their boxes, and it went down to like maybe 110 for a while.
When I grabbed one then.
You bought one at 110?
Yep.
Yeah, and now it's at 112 to 120 depending on the day, hour, and otherwise. And again, another dozen of them have been sold in the last, 2 days.
I feel like a lot of people, I don't know if it's, I feel like a lot of people are pulling these though. Like in our channel, a lot of people are pulling the Shield. A lot of people are pulling the Fable.
Agreed. And they should be going down then. If so many are being pulled, why are they not going down? And it's because what I suspect is people are buying all the collector items in mass. Like you're seeing a lot of sales. Even the pulverized full art.
Yeah.
There is 12 purchases in the last 2 days. So there's just volume on the collector stuff.
I wonder if it's all for ProQuest.
Do you really care about full art pulverized for ProQuest?
I mean, if you want to bling out.
I mean, I'm sure there's some people, but is it that many, that much volume? I mean, because again, this is one way of selling, right?
No, it's definitely a collector thing. It's definitely.
Yeah, it seems like it is. It seems like there's a real drive into these collector pieces from somewhere. And then, what's interesting that does tie to the ProQuest side of it? Swarming Gloomveil.
Yeah.
$17 card.
I have a couple of rainbow foils of that.
Wonder what that goes for. Let me pull it up.
The rainbow foil?
Yeah. There's only 3. They're going for $30+.
Really? I should put a sleeve on it.
Yeah, you should definitely put a sleeve on any of the rainbow foils. So, okay, Tommy, this is a you were right moment. Yes, you were.
They don't happen often, but when they do.
No. You can soak this up and enjoy it. I am sleeving every foil card I get. Good. Common or otherwise. I am sleeving every single foil card I get and it's the cheaper ones, the rares and commons. I'm just doing like this, what's it called? The thin sleeve, the one that goes
the penny
inner sleeve. Yeah. But the other ones I'm full sleeving, and it's because I think these have future long-term value. I think some of them are going to end up in some combo that someone will want to bling out in the future, some future set, right? And it's all first edition stuff. And so if you look at the last few sets, even some of Monarch's like foil, like regular cards are selling for more than a couple bucks because the foils are just rarer. And it's Monarch, the overprinted to oblivion set, right? The older ones, it's even crazier. Some of them I can't even afford. What the hell is going on? It's wild. So like this Gloomveil card being $30, I don't know how low it goes. Like,
right.
It may never go below $30. So let's touch on that rumor a bit. We were talking about the distributors and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's real. I think part
Yeah.
of these buyouts is news has gotten out, or maybe people listen to us. I doubt it. We're not that big.
No. No.
But,
No one
I think
listens to
it's a
us.
real deal thing that has gotten out there, and people are realizing that there's a very limited quantity of this first edition stuff coming.
Yeah.
And so everyone that, wants to sink money and is like, oh, I got to get the things that are hard to come by, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. If they do this right, if they actually this Fab 2.0 thing is really like very limited first edition, like very limited first edition, and then unlimited shortly thereafter, so players get their cards, and kind of that part's printed to oblivion or whatever.
Right.
And then they keep these first editions with all these full arts, all this, all this feel good stuff for collectors.
Right.
If that's the future, ooh, that looks bright. I'm excited. I am so excited if that's what they're doing, because this is a good, perfect example of this. Imagine if tomorrow they're like, yeah, there's no more. You will never get another order of first edition.
Right.
And that's very likely to happen. So it definitely seems like it. The word is still distributors are saying none until unlimited.
Wild.
It would be. It would be. And yet the box is selling for $79.
I know.
It's wild. God, if that word really does come down, those are going to skyrocket.
Yeah. I think they'll jump up to like 100.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll see. It depends, because if there's a second wave of firsts,
right? But
and
like every time, whenever they make these announcements, it spikes and then it comes down to almost where it was before.
Less so though, because it was true with out of print unlimited for Crew and
Crew came back down though.
And Arcane Rising. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But then WTR, when they out of printed it, everyone was like, yeah, we know. Like, it didn't move the box prices at all. Yeah. I think it went up like $10 and just stayed there, and that was it. Like, there wasn't a huge spike like we saw with the other two sets, which is fine. Like, it's again, unlimited should be accessible.
Right.
But first edition, I don't know. Poor Tales of Aria.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think it does anything to Tails first?
It's so bad. I don't know what happened there, but it's never gone up. Like, it's real low still. It's still really low. They just don't have the value in the boxes because it only affects 3 classes.
It's true.
So there's just not as much demand. It does actually. So I did see. Let me pull up my little charts.
I mean, if Starvo starts doing well.
I reported that in the market update this week, that there were a couple of pops around cards and stuff related to Starvo, and here it is. Basically, I think Tails popped a little bit based on excitement around Starvo.
Yeah.
Unlimited jumped 30% over the previous week. So, yeah. But that's unlimited. The first edition still hasn't moved.
Right.
Oh, it's sad.
It's probably because everyone's like, why would I buy first edition when I can just buy unlimited?
Right. It's like that's clearly a player market move, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. What else about Everfest? Anything in particular got your eye, you're excited about, you want?
Yeah. So right before I tore down all of my decks and organized all my cards except Everfest, or Everfest and Tails. So I still need to sort my Tails, but I'm almost done sorting my Everfest. And so it got me to do that. And I tore down all my decks and put everything away. So I have a fresh. I know where everything is when I want to pull it.
Mm-hmm.
And I plan on. I have my Starvo deck, and then Warrior has me interested, and Brute has me interested, and Ninja. I think I might do Ninja next though.
Ninja seems fun. I think I'm gonna do a Benji deck just to go fight Ira and beat it.
Yeah, I was.
Local meta.
Yeah. Well, this week is draft.
Yeah, I know. I'm just next time we play Blitz, it would be fun to go in there with Benji and just slap Ira.
Okay, so that's actually another thing. My worry with Everfest is it doesn't really have anything to do with Everfest besides it not being a draftable set and what it does for local game stores draft nights when we are now going to continue with Tails for a while.
6 months.
So I
It's
really,
painful.
yeah,
It's painful. I'm 100% in agreement on that.
yeah. I mean, nothing against
No one
Everfest,
wants
but
to do tails anymore. Everyone's tired of drafting tails already. And what are you going to do? Have them do Monarch, which is, a worse draft experience,
right,
or have them
Arcane.
do an out of print?
Yep,
It's not happening.
yep,
It's not happening. No one's going to let you draft that at a store.
right.
So yeah, I agree 100%. The only kind of consolation prize is that ProQuest is a store now, like a store thing, right? So
Right,
they did.
sure.
It's like, yeah, your events are going to be a little lame, but here's a bigger event that will get you more people in, and that sort of thing. I think the best move for a shop, and I don't run a shop, so I don't know, but is to just do the things that tie in, like CC and Blitz, and
Yeah.
just
Let people
make
play with the
your
new cards.
make your scene about training for the big events.
Yeah.
Because after ProQuest, there's more stuff coming. There's more events.
Right.
They have Indianapolis, and then of course Nationals and all the rest that happens with that.
Yep.
So,
ProQuest. Or what is it?
Pro Tour.
Pro Tour.
Yeah.
All
So
the
if
pros.
our next 2 months is spent prepping for Pro Tour, I'm there. Like,
Yeah.
I would go to those. I don't need or want to draft tails anymore, but I will show up to practice with my CC against different opponents.
Right.
And there's going to be a Blitz event at the Pro Tour as well. So
Oh yeah, there's tons of side events.
yeah, so even practice with my Blitz cards, because there's no way I'm going to be on the Pro Tour itself.
Right. But going to the side events and bringing a CC deck and bringing a Blitz deck, and then there's gonna be drafts there, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, did you hear there's supposed to be a first edition WTR draft?
Oh, what?
Yeah.
How much are those?
I have no idea. Everyone's wondering the same thing. Like, how do you get in that? Because, yeah.
But also, then you're playing draft with WTR first cards.
Bring double sleeves?
Yeah, you are.
Bring top loaders for the whole deck? I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, I agree that resigning after drafting might be the right move.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I don't care if I win. I got all these nice cards. Thank you. I imagine the prize has got to be killer too.
Oh,
right?
for sure.
Like, what the hell do you win for drafting WTR? I don't know. That's wild.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that event. It'll be really fun.
Yeah, me too. Pro Tour is going to be pretty baller. I definitely want to spend some time there, and I won't do the main event, that's for sure. But they have a calling is what they're calling the other thing.
Yep.
And then they have what's it called? Battle something.
Battle Harden.
That's it. And then all the other side events, the multiplayer blitz format, the 3v3 thing.
Yep.
There's a place for your merchant.
Yeah, there you go. No, they're 3 separate games.
Oh yeah, that's right. You explained that to me. Yeah, that's strange. I don't understand that.
It's a bad card, John. It's a feel bad card, John.
It's not
feels
a
bad
card. I felt good when I got it.
I opened it and I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm not getting my shield in this box. That's how I felt.
What if you already have the shield? Do you feel bad if you get it then?
No, because then the shield I could just sell and it has higher value than the palms. Or trade.
Oh, you're saying double shield? Yeah, but if you got rid of the palms, the shield would be worth half as much. Or a third less, I guess, because there's technically 3. But I don't know. I'm not sure how much the skull cap weighs into the rarity of the other legendary.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Other slot.
Yeah.
Because it's not foil.
No,
that seems to have been done its job.
Yeah.
God.
Is that down?
So oh yeah. It's under $100.
Nice. Yeah, so I was at like 90.
I mean, yeah, that is where it should be. I mean, it's okay if it goes further down, but the point being that $80 right now for the non-foil. What are they calling it? The
dull cap.
The dull cap. That's one of the names. I think the other one was the ever cap, and then someone came up with a happier name trying to make it positive. I'm like, dull cap's okay. It doesn't shine.
Yeah. I mean, you get to appreciate the art a little bit, like the actual just.
Yeah, I think it's a cool item regardless, and it's accessible, more accessible,
right?
for a one off buy, and it's
Yeah,
such a useful card. I think
generic.
$80. That's totally
Oh yeah.
totally a steal.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a deck that you don't have the legendary helmet for, or you don't have a good piece you want to play in the helmet, it's just you slide that in, and then it will
Yep.
just be good.
All right, so let's ignore the silver palms for a second. What other items are you happy about in Everfest? Do you have other items that you like?
Potion of luck. Does that count? No, that's potion.
Yeah, I meant like equipment. Sorry, I said items. You're right though.
Potion of luck. I like the Earthen Bounty for Guardian.
It's pretty
I think
sweet.
that's really fun. I think it makes. I mean, obviously, it was built for Valda, and complements it really well. I think it also, because there aren't. Yeah, so basically, it makes it so when I draw a card, I create a seismic token. And when you draw a card, I create a seismic token. I wish it was reversed with Valda. Yeah, so Valda's card text is the opponent, and the chess piece is for you. It would be a lot more powerful if it was reversed, because then you could slot that into the Bravos and take advantage of those cards, those seismic surge tokens from the decks that do draw a bunch of cards. But because Bravo decks don't tend to draw a lot of cards themselves.
All right.
Unless you build it that way. There are cards that build it that way, but I don't think they're efficient or powerful enough to be like the reason you do it.
Right.
But
any other items that are interesting to you?
The Dreadbow.
Yeah, that one's awesome. Makes Azalea viable. We're close to it.
Yeah, getting there.
As close as she's ever been. Yeah.
One step. With one more step, I'll be the closest to viable I've ever been.
I think that mask, the Lynx mask or whatever, is pretty good too.
Yeah.
People have been saying. With Benji at least.
Yeah, so I think not necessarily for me, because I have the Ninja Helm. What is it? Mask of Momentum. But I think a lot of these mythics are really great for newer players who are just getting started, and you have these more cost effective but do have a powerful effect, just slightly different in the mythic slot. So I think it is creating a space where newer players will feel more comfortable dropping, say, like, what are they running for, like $20?
No, some are way less than that.
Yeah,
like
so
$2 or $3 sometimes,
right,
for the non-foil.
Right, and so they're powerful cards that they're powerful equipment pieces. And I think the price of all the expensive equipment pieces has left a lot of people out. But if that becomes less of a concern because you can have something that's viable in that slot for much, much less, I think that will help the player base grow.
Yeah, I agree. I think so. I have two feelings on this particular set of equipment. One, and not the legendaries, but a separate topic. One, a lot of them seem awesome for blitz. Very, very, very viable blitz equipment. So again, people that are playing blitz are focused on, I can't afford a full play set of all these hard to get cards like Command and Conquers and whatever, so trying to play in an affordable way, agree 100%. That's so helpful for them doing the blitz format with these. And I think it's super viable. Some of them feel like teasers, which I love, and that excites me. I think the Crown of Reflection, the Illusionist one,
right?
I've seen people slot it into their Illusionist decks. I don't get it. I don't think it fits there in the current Illusionist format. Now, where it starts to kind of little bit make sense is if you're using those blue 0-cost auras and you're replacing your shield tokens with that, which is what it can do.
Right.
Kind of cool. Allows you to get in a second aura that has some on field value for free, essentially. That's cool, but I still don't think it beats the light build as it currently stands with the current pool. But it does lead you into what I'm assuming is this next Illusionist that's going to have a lot of reflection, copy, copy effect like fractal, things like that as its main theme. I think it's going to be all around mirrors, reflections, and copying. Like that's what's going to be. It's going to be a combo wombo deck with like weird little replacement effects and things like that. And that sounds like the perfect headpiece for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Skull Crusher seems popular. I don't play enough Brute to know why, but it is.
Yeah, I haven't opened one of those yet.
I've had 2 or 3 now. I've gotten a lot of those.
Good.
I got one to Chris because he asked for it. We already traded for it.
Mm-hmm.
The Aether Vein seems pretty sweet. It's, again, in a format for Blitz. It's definitely not Kano's staff. I wouldn't ever put it on Kano. But it works with Icelander,
Mm-hmm.
which has room to grow. I'll just leave it at that. Or maybe my brain has room to grow.
I think I am gonna
Learn to
swap.
play her.
I think I am gonna swap out Rampart, the Rampart shield for the new Isenloft.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Because I look at it and I'm like, this is a strictly worse card. Why would you do that?
For the Starvo deck.
Yeah, explain why. I don't understand.
So in Oldhim, where you're needing that block every turn, or wanting that block every turn, Starvo doesn't really, or doesn't have the pitch for it, because you don't want to give up that card, because you need to use your ability.
That makes
so
sense.
Being able to block, and I noticed the turns that I was able to generate a Frostbite token from
were detrimental.
So being able to add another and mid attack, so you get that Frostbite during your attack, so your next ability in that chain is going to cost 1 more.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
So that can throw off your whole turn, and having 2 of those, because I think you can use it twice, right?
I mean, not necessarily in 1 turn, but yeah,
but
it gets used twice.
Yeah. And so having 2 of those turns per game seems pretty good.
Yeah, you're right. I see where you're coming from on that, especially since you, like you said, you're trying to keep cards in hand. You don't want to pick for the defense.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I just always thought like
in Oldhim and Bravo,
Guardian, they defend.
For sure. Yes,
that's what they do.
Yes.
I don't understand why you do this. Now
Starvo is playing completely different game. Yeah. He's not playing your Bravo. He's not playing your Guardian game. He's playing something else.
He's playing like Zero Cost Briar.
Yeah.
You want to keep everything in your hand and just take every hit, and then every once in a while you throw a shield down to mess them up in their mega combo turn. Yeah, I get that. That makes sense.
You wait for them to get cocky. You wait for them to be like, "Oh, this is the turn."
Yeah,
and then you're like,
set up.
And then you see the setup, and you're like, throw a shield in there.
There goes your combo.
But it's also a threat. Like you see the shield on the other side, and you're like, that can come out. So the mind games that it plays of having it on the field as well.
That's a good point. I did not think about that. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mine's in the mail.
Yeah, I gotta buy one eventually. It's on my list. I never did get the Ram's Head or the Crown of Seeds. I'm so sad.
Yeah,
I wanted both of those. I never did get either.
I just grabbed the Unlimited.
Yeah, I want the collector pieces.
Fair enough. Them pricey pieces.
Yeah. Well, they're not actually that much more than the Unlimited, honestly. Poor Tails. I don't know how close they are now, but let's see. Ram's Head is 157 for the Unlimited, and the Cold Foil is 182. So,
yeah,
you're not paying a lot more for something that will ultimately be worth a lot more.
Yeah.
And then what was the Crown is 130 Unlimited, and Cold Foil, I think. Actually, I'm pretty sure I saw Cold Foil on eBay for like 140. I was trying to get it. It's 175 on TCG Player. So it's like they're not that big of a difference between the two. So if you like the collecting part, you might as well collect.
Sure.
Got my Heart of Ice.
Yeah, I got that one too. But, anything else on Everfest you want to talk about?
I don't know. I can talk about it all day. I love Everfest.
Well, we're approaching an hour here, so why don't we talk about the videos that we put out this week?
Sounds good.
We ventured into our dipped our toes into live streaming for the first time this week. Opened a bunch of Everfest online with some friends. It was a lot of fun. Then we did the booster box game for Crypto Nation 2nd edition. So you're on your 6th box now, the final box.
That's right. That will be coming out in the next couple days.
So you made it the whole way. You made it through the case.
Yep, and I did the full sum and total of the
Mm-hmm.
case, all the cards. Well, all the cards I tracked.
Right.
Again, the reverse foils I didn't bother to track the whole time, and some of them clearly do add value.
Yes.
But yeah, the ones I tracked, I put it all back together from start to finish,
Mm-hmm.
repricing it based on current price, find out where we landed. So take a look at that video if you want to know how it's holding up.
Mm-hmm. And I put out a 2-hour long video using Caster Society's website to teach a long-term Magic the Gathering player friend MetaZoo. It was a lot of fun. Got a lot of good feedback on it. And
Yeah,
yeah.
they're real jazzed about that, I guess.
Yeah.
They reached out, they're like, thank you so much from Caster Society. It seems a very cool community, I have to say.
It is a very cool community.
It felt pretty cool to see those comments come through and like, oh, we're like adding and helping. Like,
Yeah.
people are appreciating this.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And so AJ does want to play some MetaZoo games. So next time I see him, I'll leave him a deck or two, and we'll record some games together.
Sounds good.
You did your post EVR update?
Yes, yeah, the market update for the week, including what was going on there. It's still a rocky market. We'll see what it looks like next week, but I think it's starting to get stable. I know, just as a for instance, Red Zone Rogue just sent out a message that he just got his boxes.
Right.
For
there's
his
a
patrons.
lot that hasn't been opened.
Yeah, so there's a ton that's going out to patrons and people still that just hasn't gotten in players' hands yet. So I fully expect, a week of continued kind of dip, post-release dip, and then after that we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll keep an eye on it.
I opened up the Brilliant Stars like I talked about. I think it's a really cool set. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm also still looking forward to the app coming out whenever that is. The codes for it, actually, so the video went out today, but the codes for it can't be used for 10 days. So until right before the set launches, you can't even use the codes. So feel free to grab those once you can. And then we did some mail days.
Yeah, a lot of mail days. Actually, I've stopped doing the last 2 mail days because it's just getting excessive and it's kind of boring because it's not exciting stuff. So I'll pick it back up as I start actually buying fun and fancy things. I should have some this week that are fun and fancy, but doing a video of me opening 3 Majestics is just kind of boring.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do that going forward. I don't think that's fair to the patrons and viewers, but at the same time, I need those cards, so I'm just going to open them and not record it.
Right. That's fair.
The fancy stuff I'll put on video, though.
I'm going to put out a video for Valentine's Day, doing a special MetaZoo opening. I got some MetaZoo boxes. I'm going to be opening 4 of those. There's 4 packs in each. Each pack has a card. So each box has 4 cards. Opening 4 boxes. So that'll be fun. They're all cool. Little chibi guys for Valentine's Day. Yeah. And then... I'm going to be doing the booster box game. John knows how this went. But I'm going to be doing the booster box game with Fusion Strike. So how he did it with Cryptid Nation 2nd Edition, I'm going to be doing it with Fusion Strike.
A whole case of Fusion Strike? You're going to crack all of them open.
So I have...
It's going to be amazing.
I have a box of Fusion Strike that I opened for this, and then if it worked, then I will crack into the case of Fusion Strike that I have and start
you had a separate box?
Yeah, I had a separate box.
It was part of the case. I didn't realize. Okay.
Yeah, I had so the box I'm opening is by itself, one I had, and then I ordered a case. And so, gotcha. Yeah. So you'll see how that went. And then hopefully we can get some Flesh and Blood gameplay up this week of the new decks we've been testing out and playing.
I'm all for it, man. Whenever you're ready. I got a deck. I'm ready. I feel good about it.
Cool. Is it Briar again?
Of course it is.
Yes, of course it is. All right. Well, that about wraps it up for today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. Please feel free to check out our Patreon. Check out the YouTube channel. If you are listening on Spotify, check out the YouTube channel. Give us a sub. Leave a hashtag for a chance at the 2 boxes we are giving away at 100 subs. Anything else?
Nope, you covered it.
All right. Have a good one.
Have a good one.